Every toy in my collection has a story, how I came upon it, why I bought it, or even just some random or obscure bit of info about it. Admittedly, not all of them are amazing, funny, or interesting, but I think some of them are, and I'd like to tell you about them, one toy at a time. This is Stories from the Toy Shelf, Redux. Episode 5. He has a tendency to blow his own stack. Originally posted July 31, 2012. In 1982, my dad brought me to the States for the first time. I was 6 and had nothing but Star Wars in the brain. That's all I cared about. Going into the fabled amazing toy store called Toys R Us and getting me more Star Wars toys. Surprisingly, my older brother, the same one who got me excited about Star Wars in the first place, was suddenly telling me to forget them. There was this new toy that I should get called G.I. Joe. G.I. what? I thought, what kind of a toy goes by the name Joe? Star Wars sounded so much cooler. But my brother was insistent. I must get a G.I. Joe. So when we got to Toys R Us, he led me straight to the G.I. Joe aisle. Admittedly, I wasn't really that impressed. They were the same size as Star Wars figures, but they sort of all looked the same. All predominantly green men. I don't really think I spent too much time trying to figure out who was who. I just wanted to get my brother off my back, so I grabbed the first Joe I laid my eyes on and dropped it into the cart and headed straight over to the Star Wars aisle. Actually, on second thought, I didn't pick that Joe because he was the first one I saw. I picked him because he was blonde. Back then, Luke Skywalker got me thinking that all leaders were blonde, so I assumed the one that I got was the leader because of his yellow hair color. As it turned out, my reasoning wasn't too far off. I just picked the wrong blonde. Anyway, when we got back to our place, I excitedly started opening up all my Toys R Us loot. Naturally, I started up with all the new Star Wars stuff. But eventually, I came to the lone G.I. Joe that I got. I did a quick scan of the package. The artwork was nice enough. His name was Short Fuse, and he was a mortal soldier. In hindsight, I actually read that wrong. He was really a mortar soldier, not that I'd really know what that was back then. The name didn't really make sense, and it definitely didn't sound as cool as Luke Skywalker or Han Solo. Anyway, I thought might as well open him up, and almost instantly I realized the action figure I held in my hands was a totally different animal. All of a sudden, everything Star Wars got erased from my brain. This action figure was amazing. He could bend his elbows and knees and twist his waist. Wow! And that wasn't all. He came with accessories. Well, aside from his weapon, which admittedly looked a little wonky, I had no idea what a mortar cannon was. He had a backpack and a helmet that you could remove. And if that wasn't enough, his helmet came with a clear visor that you could actually move up and down. Again, amazing. So after getting over my initial awe of this figure, I quickly picked up the card back which I had previously tossed aside and soaked in every single detail. First and foremost, there was this file card, something no Star Wars figure had. It told the story of Short Fuse, who he was, where he was from, and what his specialty was. It was so detailed that after reading it, I felt that I was best friends with this guy. And then I looked over the other Joes that were available, and what initially looked like a bunch of generic green-clad men slowly turned into the coolest collection of characters that I'd ever laid my eyes on. And all I could think about was, I had to get them all. At this point, I was totally converted. Star Wars was nothing but a distant memory. Okay, so I still picked up an Ewok or Stormtrooper here and there. But basically from then on out, it was all about creating my G.I. Joe Mobile Strike Force. Thanks for checking out Stories from the Toy Shelf Redux. For more stories, please like and subscribe to this channel. Click on the notification bell for updates or visit my website at storiesfromthetoyshelf.com and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until the next one.